A quick look into the history of cyber crimes in Nigeria will show you it's not new. Although it's hard to tell when it actually began, 419 scams picked up in the early 2000s, right about when the internet and cafes started gaining ground across the country. Adobe Tricia's I Do Not Come to You by Chance is set in that time frame and is the story of Kingsley Ibe, a frustrated young graduate of engineering who is struggling to get a job and support his family. After his father's death and a few other unfortunate events, he gets drawn into the world of Cash Daddy, his uncle, who obviously gets his wealth from cyber fraud. Impersonations, fake partnership offers, and email relationship scams, you name it. And since Kingsley is a natural storyteller with some education on his side, he easily becomes Cash Daddy's protege. But that's exactly the point. Although everyone can tell that Cash Daddy gets his wealth from cyber fraud, it doesn't seem to matter because, well, it's generous. Kingsley's mother is the only staunch antagonist of his involvement in cyber fraud. But guess what? She budges later when Kingsley starts a proper business on the side. And that's somehow convincing herself that fraud is not the actual source of her son's wealth. That's the hypocrisy in social reaction to cyber fraud, even to date. Granted, Yahoo Boys are a menace. HK, working boys, hustlers, call it whatever you like. Yahoo is a heartless crime with real-life devastating consequences for the victims, not to mention the harm it does to our national image. But the bigger problem here is how society responds to it. We live in a society where people flat out condemn stealing, but somehow subtly encourage cyber fraud, especially when they are the beneficiary chain. Musicians sing praises of convicted criminals, traditional priests, alpha, and spiritualist pastors host prayers for Yahoo Boys. The hospitality industry, real estate, even the dating pool, they all encourage cyber fraud. Even some policemen so badly wanted to be a Yahoo Boy. And the reason is not hard to tell. Yahoo Boys have the money to splurge. You can chalk it up to poverty, unemployment, or payback for slavery, or whatever other ridiculous excuses people have floated over time. But it doesn't change the fact that society is the biggest enabler of cyber fraud. At this rate, the law seems to be the only line against the Yahoo problem. But sadly, I'm afraid that is not enough. The novel reflects this social hypocrisy, but also touches on law and how difficult it is for the average young person to make an honest living in Nigeria. It also takes a jab at the excesses of the Pentecostal church, but that's a topic for some other time. Specifically, I enjoyed how the author smartly uses humor without watering down the seriousness of her subject matter. Not sure I've read a Nigerian novel with better humor. What do you think about the novel or the Yahoo Boy pandemic in Nigeria? I'm curious to hear your takes. And let me know if there are any other titles you would like me to review. Thank you.